18, I had two great friends that invited me to their church. I was at the time very involved in my Catholic church and in my faith there. And I went home and I talked to my mom about it, and she said yes, she was on her own spiritual journey. And right when I got to the church, the pastor was preaching about Ephesians 2:8 and 9. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so no one can boast. So I think that was like my scripture. I went home, I opened my Bible, and I emailed my priest about why they weren't talking about this, and really telling us how to get to heaven and explaining it, since it was in the Bible, is easy to understand. And he got back to me and just didn't answer my question at all. So then is when I knew I needed to change churches. So I eventually went off to college, then met my husband, and we ended up here in Oceanside, and he was very firm about coming to church. So he researched churches, and we ended up here at New Song. And since then, I saw that FTK was here, and that they had a Colors of the Gospel class. So I was finally able to attend the Colors of the Gospel, and I was going to mission trips, but I think I found God speaking to me during my Colombia mission trip this past summer. And I was sharing the gospel with not only adults but children, and there was one in particular, Liz, who was able to share the gospel and do the adult presentation, but she's also able to refer to scripture and answer questions to people. And so then is when I knew, like, anyone can do this, anyone can share the gospel. So I spoke to Wilmer, and I was like, I think you're gonna have to find a desk for me at FTK. But when I came home, I kind of had second thoughts, like, I'm a mom of two, I'm a military wife, how am I going to do this? My husband fully supported mission trips. He's able to hold down the fort while I'm away. But I'm a full-time mom. It was a difficult decision. So actually, after hearing Jonah, the story of Jonah for the fifth time, I was like, I better do this or I'm gonna end up at 29 Palms, the worst place in the Marine Corps. And so I ended up I spoke to Alyssa. They knew that I had a passion for sharing the gospel with children, so I ended up at FTK. And so now I'm interning with Alyssa, and I am hoping to become a full-time missionary by the end of January, early February. So that's where my future is going.